Amid fresh tariff threats from the US President Donald Trump, the federal government has launched investigations into the impact of importing certain pharmaceuticals and semiconductors on national security. According to filings published in the Federal Register on Monday in America, the investigations could pave way for tariffs on prescription drugs and chips. The Trump administration argues that heavy reliance on foreign production of medicines and semiconductors poses a national security risk. The investigations are being carried out under Section 232 of the Trade Expansion Act of 1962 in the US. This provision allows the president to impose tariffs on imports deemed to threaten national security. The filings state that the probe began on April 1st and will include both finished pharmaceuticals and pharmaceutical ingredients, as well as semiconductors and related products. A 21-day public comment period is scheduled to begin on Wednesday. By law, that requires that the inquiries must be completed within 270 days. These developments follow the exclusion of smartphones, computers, and other electronics primarily imported from China to US from a set of tariffs unveiled over the weekend. Those products were previously expected to be included in the 125% reciprocal tariff list. Trump officials had signaled that such goods would be subject to Section 232 duties. President Trump confirmed on Sunday that tariffs on imported semiconductors would be announced in the coming week. He noted there could be flexibility for some companies. The US currently relies heavily on chip imports from Taiwan. Former President Joe Biden had previously sought to reduce this dependence through the CHIPS Act, which provided incentive for domestic semiconductor production. Since April 5, the US has begun collecting base tariffs of 10% on most imports. On April 9, Trump paused additional tariffs that were expected to target a broader range of countries. However, the most severe tariffs on Chinese products remain in place. Pharmaceuticals and semiconductors were initially exempt from these duties but are now being targeted separately. The new tariff policies have caused major disruption in financial markets. Major US stock indexes are down by over 10% from the record highs it reached after Trump's election victory earlier this financial year. Several economists have downgraded growth forecasts, warning of increased unemployment and inflation. Federal Reserve Governor Christopher Waller said on Monday Trump tariff policy is one of the biggest shocks to affect the US economy in many decades.